Hello everyone, it's Kelly, the creator behind The Witch's Shop. This is my second vlog and I thought it would be quite interesting and relaxing if I was simply talking to you like this while showing you images and video clips. I want you to have a relaxing and cinematic experience, even in my vlogs, because this is what I enjoy doing the most. Don't worry, you also get to see my face and my music studio at the end of the video. So before we dive deeper in the behind the scene of The Witch's Shop, let me first tell you about my passion for music. I think I've always loved singing. When I was little, I couldn't help myself but sing, especially in languages that I invented. I was quite shy though, and over the years I became more and more self-conscious. So singing while being heard was no longer something natural to me. But my passion for music got stronger, and despite the fact that I was uncomfortable to express myself creatively, I began to learn the piano and sing in secret. Later, I definitely pushed myself out of my comfort zone by singing in several progressive metal bands, because yes, I do enjoy metal music, especially if it is mixed with different music genres with lots of electronic sounds. Within Temptation is one of my favorite bands, and I think it is the band that made me realize how much I like orchestral music, because they use a lot of strings, choirs, and other great instruments in their music. Sharon, the amazing singer of the band, helped me find my voice and told me that you can have a powerful voice in the metal world without necessarily screaming. A couple years ago, I was in a band and together we composed our own songs, and we also made covers of bands such as Nightwish, 21 Pilots, Linkin Park, and System of a Down. Singing in a metal band is a huge contrast with the ASMR world. Most people wouldn't think that I was the lead singer of a metal band, especially because I am a quiet introvert making relaxing videos on YouTube. But I like contrasts, and if you've been following me for a while, you might have noticed it with the relationship between the White Witch and her very peculiar sister Meredith. I'm quite sure that Meredith is the part of me that enjoys the intensity and the dark side of metal music. Then I left my band because I needed to explore my creativity individually, and also the idea of regularly being on stage and touring didn't really appeal to me. I'm much more comfortable working in the studio and having my 8 hours of sleep, if not more, because I can easily suffer from insomnia if I don't have a routine. That's the time when I discovered orchestral music and I started to compose my own tracks. I was also hired by music producers to sing on their music, and I had the wonderful experience of composing music for a small video game. But something was still missing. I needed a story, something that would reunite all of my passions: music, fantasy, cinematic visuals, and personal development. Because I need to admit, the Gemini within me loves to understand life and people, and needs to talk about what it is to be human, to have emotions, contradictions, frustrations, desires, and fears. So this time, I search within me for a story to tell, and it comes right from my own duality and contradictions. First came the character of the White Witch, who wants to help people get on well with everybody and wants to avoid conflicts at all costs, even if it means sugarcoating reality sometimes. Then came Meredith, a strong, independent witch who is intense and has a no bullshit policy. To sum it up, they are quite different and they represent the two different parts within me. Someone asked me where I find my inspiration to make music, so my answer is simply the story. But especially the visuals of a story, such as a landscape or a cinematic scene. That's what inspires me the most. So now let's come back to the music behind the witch shop. Music always comes after I've filmed a video. I can have a little idea about what type of sounds or instruments I want to use, but mostly I let the visuals guide me. I use a studio microphone to record my voice and relaxing sounds. However, last year when I decided to make my first video outside, I obviously couldn't bring my microphone with me, so I had to use a wireless microphone, which is a microphone that has a bit of background noise, so it's not as good as the studio microphone I use. During that time, I didn't know how much unwanted noise there was outside. As I was filming, there were many cars passing by, planes, and even people cutting trees. It was a bit of a nightmare to film because I had to stop every 2 minutes. Here's a video clip to show you that creating a relaxing environment outside is not easy. And then you'll see that the cactus is actually very, very calm. Then I really wanted to introduce Meredith in the forest, so I tried to film outside again, but it was even worse. It was so hard to focus with so many cars passing by because I was even closer to the road. The first take was so bad, I had to do everything again. But this time I didn't bring my wireless microphone with me. I decided to record the sound on my phone and then re-record everything again during post-production. Which means that I had to sit for hours memorizing every word I was saying as well as the speed of my speech to sync my voice with the movement of my lips. It took me so long, but it was worth it at the end, because I could build the background sound from scratch, adding my own relaxing sounds. Here's a video clip of the background noise when I filmed. Actually, there is one thing. Would you ask her for that thing for me? Yes? Oh, wonderful. We have a deal then. Now come and follow me. I'll bring you to the most powerful sage in the forest. And then, after post-production, when I re-recorded everything and added new sounds. Would you ask her for that thing for me? Yes? Oh, wonderful. We have a deal then. Now come and follow me. I'll bring you to the most powerful sage of the forest. I believe this video was the one which took me the most time to make. I like creating my own sounds, and I'm lucky to live in the countryside, so I can record some sounds such as the sounds of the birds, my footsteps in the snow and in the forest. I have recorded those sounds separately, removed the parts in which I can hear a car or a plane, and then added them in the video. But I also use royalty-free sounds from the internet when I need the sound of a group of people or a male voice, fireworks, and even the sound of an old door. I like using effects to modify the sound to make it more interesting, and I've already tried different techniques to modify my voice to sound like another person. For example, I recorded my voice for the ghost of Aunt Martha and added effects on top of it to make it sound like it comes from the world of the dead. Well, as long as she doesn't scare the baker, it's fine with me. Oh, I think she's sensing that I'm spying on her. Yeah, I think she's sensing that I am looking at what she's doing. I should be more discreet. Ooh.
Mind your business, young girl.
Maybe I should stop tracking her and hope that she will soon go back to the world of the dead. Yeah. So this is my music studio, and here I record all the music, all my vocals, and I have my microphone here. I have my computer, my audio interface, which connects my computer to my keyboard and my microphone to my computer, my monitors and headphones. So my music studio is quite simple, and it's actually in my bedroom, so it's not really a real music studio, but this is perfect to do what I do. And actually I have my music software, which is Logic, and I can choose any sound that I want. So I use music libraries, which are virtual instruments. Actually, it's real instruments, but you can actually control them with your keyboard and play the melody you want. So here I have an harp, and I can basically choose to play with it. So I can just have fun and experiment. And I also have quite a lot of orchestral instruments, because I really do love orchestral instruments. So I can also play a violin. And I have the cello, which I really love. And a lot of also synthesizers, electronic sounds like the Catalyst and pads. So someone asked me, if you are beginning, if you want to start making music and you basically want to make music for one of your vlogs, where do you start, or what is the basis of a music composition? Well, I would say that if you are starting to compose music, maybe you want to start the easier way, the easiest way with like a more atmospheric sound with pads, because like pads like this, for instance, the type of sound is quite rich and very full already, with like the lower sound, mid sound and higher sound. That when you listen like a piece of music, what is great about it is that you have like a great harmony of different frequencies, like the lower sound with the bass, the mid sounds with the guitar or with the violins, and the higher sounds with like something from a higher pitch. And it's could be quite complicated to know how to create a piece of music with different instruments and to balance everything. So maybe you want to start with a sound that has already a lot of those frequencies by just pressing one key like that. And you can have something very atmospheric and start building your track. So obviously it might not work if you want to have something quite dynamic, quite, like with a lot of speed. But if you want something a little bit more interesting, you can also add something like a loop, like a basic sound like this, and you just build your track with an ambient sound, and it's already quite rich, and basically you just have one note and just a loop and a rhythm. And then you can build a track with, let's say, a bit of ARP. So basically you can, start with a few instruments and make something quite interesting, even with something very simple. Yeah, so you don't have to be an expert in music theory to start playing music. I think the best way is to just get straight into it, experiment, start with loops, start with something that is already built for you, and then just add your voice, add different sounds, just see what works, just feel what you like, what you don't like, and that's the best way to actually experiment with music. So yeah, about the Witch's Shop. So I'm actually thinking about the third season of the Witch's Shop. I think that you know that I like making seasons starting in August, September, during witchy season, because it's such a great way to honor Samhain, Mabon, all the witchy festivals and the pumpkin season. And I always want to be ready and to give something special during that time. So during summer I won't actually upload any videos because I will be filming, I will be creating those videos, but the new adventures of the witches will be released during, I guess, end of August or beginning of September. So I wanted just to make a small vlog to tell you guys about what I'm doing. And I'm also creating my astrology course, which takes me a lot of time because I have this vision of making an astrology course, creating an astrology course with Meredith and the White Witch, so with the Witchy sisters, in a cinematic way. So it's not going to be a classical course, it's going to be something much more, you know me, a little bit more fantastic or, fantasy based. And I also want to create the music for the course, so it requires a lot of time. And I prefer quality over quantity, so this is the reason why I don't make like 2 videos a month on YouTube, or I don't make a course that will be created in only 3 months, because I need a lot of time to think about the project, to make the project, to really think about the small details, and that requires time. So I have no idea when I will be able to release this course because, like I said, it takes quite a lot of time. But yeah, I'm quite happy and enthusiastic about it. Sometimes I'm a bit worried because my vision is quite big, and sometimes I ask myself when or how am I gonna make it. But yes, I will tell you when I have more info and when the course will be a bit more advanced in the progression of the making. I don't think it's very English what I said, but you get my point. So yeah, so I was thinking about ending this video by first of all thanking you for enjoying watching the Witchy Sisters and their adventures. And I also wanted to maybe just experiment with a new song here and a new track, and leave you guys with a very relaxing and smooth music, and with beautiful images. So yeah, so let's start. Oh,